All right, let's get this Tuesday started. Welcome, everyone, to the Tuesday stream. And right off the bat, thank you so much, RWD 072059, for the follow. Had to make sure I read that one carefully. Thank you guys for tuning in on this Tuesday, wherever you might be, whether you're in Western North America, where it's about just after 10 a.m., enjoying your morning coffee, or out on the East Coast, where you're probably just finishing up your lunch and maybe back at work and kind of have OOTP and Twitch on in the background. Hey, come on, we all do it. I know we do. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. I can't say. If you're in Europe, it is in the evening, early evening there. Welcome. And of course, if you're in Eastern Asia, Japan, South Korea, it's probably a little later in the evening there. Not sure what the time difference is. All right, lots I want to kind of go through today before we get to my two teams and pack openings and see how we're doing so far. A little bit of kind of an update, what's been going on with OOTP in the last couple days. I have started a Sunday late night stream. So if you're a night owl, if you miss your drop somehow during the day on Sunday and you wanna pop in on Sunday night, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I am going to do a late night with Laptop Hound. I did one on the past Sunday and had about 50 people. And I mean, normal, I expect a lot of people are getting ready for the work day on Monday and going to bed. But I thought, you know what? I just want to pop in and give those people that missed packs on Sunday one last chance before the clock strikes midnight. Well, at least in North America. So yes, check that out. We do a weekly recap. We go through some of the leagues, some of the champions, some of the hot players, hot cards, and the week that was OOTP on Sunday night. And again, just a small crowd on the past Sunday, but it's like when I was teaching. When I was teaching, you know, if I had a class of 34, 38, 40 kids, it's hard to get, you know some of these kids. And when you have a class of 15, 16, 17, you get to know them on a more personal level. And that's what we did on Sunday. I got to know Kylan. If Kylan's here, got to know him and his team and some of his players on his team. So yeah, check that out. Mark it on your calendar. Sundays at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right, just looking at the chat here. Gorgo and Cubs fan. Good conversation. Excellent. All right. If you are not aware, OOTP is currently in a sale for the next 5.5, 6 days. You can pick up the game if you don't own it yet. If you just happen to be on Twitch and came across this stream, OOTP is 50% off right now. I believe it's $19.99 for the base version. And that gets you into Perfect Team. Or if you already have a copy, it gets you 3 more teams that you could play. I find 2 kind of challenging to be competitive. I know last year in OOTP 22, I had 4 teams, I think. I had 2 copies of the license and 4 teams. And that was, extremely tough. Fun, but you need a lot of time to dedicate and do well. Sometimes people run a 3rd team or 4th team as a packs only or as a theme team. EVC, if you don't follow EVC on Twitch, check him out. He goes through all the different theme teams that he kind of is the commissioner of, kind of the boss of. And it's a growing trend. A lot more managers are starting to create these theme teams. Maybe it's an all Blue Jays team or an all Expos team or players that, are only born in Canada, whatever that theme might be. So again, the sale on perfect points, the sale on the game itself, historical perfect packs, diamond packs are in the game right now that you can buy. They've taken out the silver and gold, so you can only get a base pack, a historical, diamond, or perfect. Personally, I don't open up a lot of perfect packs or diamond packs. I just don't see the value there right now. Yes, you have a better chance of getting the better cards, but you're paying a lot more. I think it's 60,000 perfect points for a perfect pack. And 70% chance you're going to get a live player. And live players aren't worth much right now. Maybe one or two can play in your league up until maybe gold, and then after that it's kind of slim. So it definitely is a gamble. Good afternoon, EVC. Welcome to the stream. Good to see you here. Again, if you missed it, EVC does run the theme team streams, and great feed. It's got the sirens in the background, and pull some pretty good cards and packs. Maybe not as good as Gorgo. No one's as good as Gorgo, but check out both their streams, Gorgo and EVC. Gorgo is on tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern. Also, recently, we all know, if you're hardcore OOTP, you know that Bunt, Topps Bunt cards have been released. There will be 60 in packs, and then the toppers for each of the 30 teams, and then the overall topper, which speculation may be an Aaron Judge. So yes, the Topps Bunts cards are now in packs at a historical rate. And with more and more new cards being introduced, the number of live cards stay the same, but the number of historical cards go up. So the chances of getting a specific historical card decreases over time as they increase the content of those cards. So good luck on getting those. If I get those, unless it's a perfect or a card that can play on either of my teams, depending which team pulls it, I'll keep it. Otherwise, I'm going to sell it. I am not going after the 60. As a free-to-play player, it is near impossible. So those are now in packs. Good luck on your polls there. Last night, if you missed it, the showdown of the year so far. We had Mr. Rich Grisham, a diehard New York Mets fan, and Dishnet, the OOTP official streamer of Twipped on Friday nights and content release on Thursday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern. Check him out if you haven't. See what all the new content is going to be and missions. They duked it out last night, and it was close for a while. I hope Rich isn't here right now, but it was close for a while up until about the 6th inning, and then Dishnet pulled away and just dramatically crushed the spirit, the hopes, the dreams of Rich's team. So the Pilots lost out. I think it was 14-3, and Dish even, as a sign of good faith, because this isn't softball. We don't have the mercy rule, where after so many innings, if you're ahead by, 10 runs, the game's over. No, there was no mercy rule. And look at that smile on Dish's face. Does it look like Dish was about to give mercy to Rich? When I was watching that, this is the most I've seen, most excited I've seen Dishnet all year. He was pumped. He was excited. He was a kid in a candy store or a kid under the Christmas tree on Christmas morning. He really enjoyed this, and I'm sure he's going to savor that victory. But, to give credit to Dish, he did bring in Oscar Charleston in the last inning and got Gehrig, of all people, to fly out, I think with the bases loaded, to end the game. So that was a great one game kind of play down. I'm hoping they bring head to head, because as a streamer, I'd love to go to head with EVC one time, or Gorgo, or Kidneys, or any of these other streamers. I'd love to have that head-to-head competition. I think it would create these friendly rivalries with the streamers. All right, so that was on last night, and silver packs. Lately, when Rich has been on for his streams, not only or not you don't get the standard packs, you get the silver packs. I don't know if that's because Rich is getting silver hair like some of the rest of us, or, maybe he's just a kind-hearted soul and said, hey, let's give the community some silver packs. Also, in Rio Baseball, the Hank Aaron Award finalists. Love that they named this award the Hank Aaron Award. And you see there the National and American League finalists, including, yes, a Met. And I don't see any Detroit Tigers there. But hey, Dish won last night, so I'm sure he's not too concerned. So we'll see. The Hank Aaron Award winner, who that is going to be. Judge, seems like a given in the American League. Not sure about the National League. I don't follow them as much because I'm a Jays fan, and it's still a little bit too soon. I'm still hurting a little bit. But yeah, I'm not sure who's going to win it in the American League. Probably Ohtani, I would guess. Just have to have a sip of the coffee. Once again, brought to you by Nespresso, the best brewed coffee on the planet. Unless you have a really expensive coffee machine. All right, let's go on. I always like to start off my Tuesday and Thursday streams with the featured player. And because I just showed you the Hank Aaron Awards, let's take a look back at Hammer and Hank. I did not grow up to see Hammer and Hank. Gorgo might have been a young lad when Hammer and Hank, I don't know, Gorgo, do you remember watching Hammer and Hank on TV or maybe in real life? That would be one player that would have been really cool to go watch a game, either in the outfield or him at bat. He was active well into your adult years. Yeah, so you remember the big famous home run. Yeah, he was a player I would have liked to see. Gorgo, is there a player of today that best compares in terms of, personality, gameplay, anyone that would compare from today's world? I'll let you think on that for a sec. So here's a quote about Hammer and Hank. As far as I'm concerned, Aaron is the best ball player of my era. He is to baseball of the last 15 years what Joe DiMaggio was before him. He's never received the credit he's due. And that comes from Mickey Mantle back in 1970. So Hammer and Hank seemed to go kind of under the radar, I guess. And I don't know if maybe it was he played during a very, very racial tense time in the United States, the 1960s, where, again, the Negro League players maybe didn't get the recognition that they would today. But yeah, that's a great quote there from Mr. Mickey Mantle. Career-wise, if you're not aware, a 143 WAR. That's a fantastic overall WAR in his career. Over 12,000 at-bats, over 3,700 hits, and of course the 755 home runs. 2,297 RBIs. Wow, impressive. So you see Hank Aaron's stats there, and just looking over the chat, he hit the Babe tying home run. Oh, really? In Cincinnati? I did not realize that. Were you in the area at the time, Gorgo? Were you kind of in the vicinity back in that year? Votto? Okay. Judge and Votto, comparables. Elsewhere in Ohio. Okay, cool. In terms of teams that he played for, does anyone remember? I know Gorgo will. He didn't play his whole career with the Braves. Who was it that Hank Aaron finished his career with? Last couple years, where did Hank Aaron play? Come on. Yes, Cubs fan, you are correct. He did play for the Brewers. So before Atlanta, it was the Boston Braves. And in 1974, I'm not sure the circumstances. I don't know if it was contractual, money, just wanted to change a scenery, what the case was. But he was traded to the Brewers for a player to be named later. And that player was Roger Alexander, was the guy that was traded for Hank Aaron. So there's a Trivial Pursuit question. Who was Aaron traded for? I don't know if he was, today a lot of players re-sign a one-day contract with their main kind of team. I don't know if Aaron did that, but very cool that he was very loyal to the Braves. Played with a kid from our Dixie Youth Baseball League in Birmingham, Charlie Moore. Cool. Yeah. And yeah, Hank was constantly good. Like, he wasn't one of these guys that had, an MVP season and then obscure for a couple seasons. He was a really consistent player. Award-wise, Hank Aaron would win an MVP. He does have a World Series championship. Always like when these great players win at least one championship. Kind of surprising, only 2 batting titles, but there were a lot of great players back then. 3 Gold Gloves, so he was pretty good in the outfield. And look at that, 25-time All-Star. That's consistency. When you bring up consistency, Erie GM, that is the sign of consistency when you're an all-star for 25 years. So yes, Hank Aaron, I thought we would kind of focus on him. He was elected into the Hall of Fame. I can't remember what year he was elected. Maybe some of you with better recognition of these older players. Was it 1982 that he was elected? Seems to be it was maybe in the 1980s, but he is in the Hall of Fame. And I just love these Hall of Fame plaques. Very, very cool and well-deserved for his career. Of course, Hank Aaron is in Perfect Team. He has a perfect card, a 100 card. Many of you in the chat probably have him still on your team. Hit 44 home runs 4 times. And the number 44. Yeah, I love that. I don't know if you call it symmetry or what it is, that where numbers really kind of match up with a player in their career. So yeah, so he hit 44 home runs 4 times and he wore the number 44. So the Hank Aaron card was a Mission Edition card. I believe it was the topper for finishing all the live missions. I don't know if that was for one league or both leagues, but it was a fairly easily obtainable card. Yeah, you had to do some work and get these live players, but he is a card that a lot of the managers were able to pick up fairly early, and he's held his consistency just like in real life. And I'm glad to see that with 100 Hank Aaron, that he didn't fall off after the first month of release. So Hank Aaron, very, very good card. I have him on both my teams. And even, in the Diamond and Perfect leagues, a lot of teams still use him, even if it's just in a platoon role. Hank Aaron, one really good card and a fairly inexpensive card. I would recommend for you new players, much cheaper to get him on the card shop than it is to finish all the missions. But if you finish all the missions, you get some great pitchers for those lower levels. Mark Pryor, Sid Fernandez, R.A. Dickey, Pedro Martinez, Clayton Kershaw. There are a lot of really good pitchers that can move you up in those lower levels. If you're in the entry pool, rookie, stone, iron, these live mission cards that you get as rewards really can help you out. So you might want to consider finishing those missions first. Again, Hank Aaron's numbers on the card, his ratings, are what keeps him in the game as a valuable player so far. Again, more of against the left-handed pitchers, that he's a little bit more valuable at the higher leagues. But in the lower leagues, you can play him every day. Great Stealing. I remember Gorgo said that he keeps his stealing slider on Aaron fairly high, just a tick or two below maximum, and he's had it that way right from the beginning. And how many stolen bases? You remember Gorgo, how many he has now? What did he hit? Like 500 or 600? He has quite a few for your team. 500. So yeah, 500 stolen bases. So the guy can run in OOTP, and you see those dark blue bars against the lefties. So yeah, very, very good card to get if you don't have him already. He has been on the Rocky Mountain Gladiators, just to give you a perspective and some numbers. I've had him on my team since 2027. Took me a few seasons to get the players to acquire him. So he's played only in gold and diamond. The Gladiators have not been below gold since 2027. And you can see his numbers there. Lots to look at. 2,300 hits. Mine only has 138 stolen bases. My slider's probably about neutral, kind of in the middle. Yeah, close to 10,000 plate appearances and a WAR of 56.5. Long way to go. Long way to go to get to where he is in real life. But the beauty of OOTP is they can play forever, as long as the game exists. And I don't know about you, but I tend to be too loyal to my players. And that's a fault as a manager. With a guy like Hank Aaron, when better cards come along, I'm going to find it very difficult to take him off my team, because I want to see him accumulate more stats, more numbers. And when you take him out, that's it. His career is pretty much over on your team. Sometimes when you sell a card, the stats will carry over to the manager that bought it. Sometimes they don't. I'm not sure how that works, why it gets reset in some cases. Maybe it's the day of the week that you sell it. Might be if you sell it on a Sunday, it's reset. I don't know. But yeah, I tend to be a little bit too loyal to some of my players. So that is the feature of today, Mr. Hank Aaron, one of the best of all time and one of the best cards currently in OOTP. All right, let us go to our main screen. Take off the countdown. That is done. And hello, all of you out in OOTP land, Twitch land. We have a big game coming up in real life baseball. The Guardians against the Yankees. Game 5. Winner goes on to face the Astros in the Final Four. And on the other side, we had the Padres. They are going to face off against the, which team? It's escaping me. Phillies. Padres and Phillies in the National League. Yes. The face cam. Don't have all the fancy noises yet, like you do, Gorgo, but soon we'll do that. And big game. I am kind of cheering for the Guardians, underdog, and I've always not liked the Yankees from a kid. I kind of cheered for the Dodgers or anyone but the Yankees. And then the Blue Jays being in the same division. And then the Expos when they were around in the National League. So yeah, I'm cheering for the Guardians. I'm not sure with the delay who that favors, because they were supposed to play last night, but there was a delay with rain. And so they're playing this afternoon. I think game time is in about a half hour that this game gets underway. So yeah, if you have nothing to do and you want to watch some baseball, and I believe there's a Phillies game. I think the Phillies and Padres play tonight, game 1. You were hoping Bieber would pitch for them. Yeah, it's both don't. I think Cole is probably the ace of the Yankees. He's not pitching either. So what we're going to do, we're going to come up to our break in just a minute here, our first ad break. And then we're going to come back, and I've set up OOTP with The lineups for today, you can see the lineups. I've got all the players in their right positions, right place in the batting order, and that took some time to get that organized. We've got the right pitchers. We got Cortez pitching for the Yankees, and we have, can't remember who's pitching for the Guardians. Can't see it on the screen, but we got everyone in the right place, ready for the showdown. OOTP tends to be fairly accurate with their results when they come out with their predictions. We'll see what the prediction of this game is. We'll get to that right after the first ad break, guys. See you in just a few seconds. Ad break number 1 on its way. All right, we are already underway. Just couldn't wait. So we got the game already underway, and Cleveland has taken a 1-0 lead already in the top of the first. Again, this is OOTP, top of the first. So we'll continue on here. We'll play this out, see how it goes. They're still up at bat, top of the first, and a fly out to center field that retires them, but they do get the 1-0 lead. All right, we have the Yankees up now, seeing what they can show. First at bat, Torres strikes out swinging. Aaron Judge, the one, the only Aaron Judge, and he takes a walk. So they're a little bit scared to pitch to Aaron Judge this afternoon. Anthony Rizzo at the plate. He is going to hit one down the first base line, and that is snagged. And they only get one, as they don't try and turn the double play right off the bat. Giancarlo Stanton at the plate, Judge at second. Here comes the pitch, and he is walked. So a little bit of shakiness from the Guardian pitcher to start off the game. 2 on, 2 out. Josh Donaldson at the plate. Donaldson drives one to third. Easy play for the third baseman. That retires the side. 1-0 Cleveland after 1. As we head to the top of the second, Oscar Gonzalez at the plate. Here comes the pitch and a strikeout. Cortez notches his first strikeout of the game. Andre Jimenez up for the Guardians. He drives one to the opposite field, but it is handled by the third baseman. 2 out. Arias Gabriel at the plate. Can he get something started? No, a weak ground to the third. Routine play, and the Yankees take care of the Guardians. 1-2-3. Oswaldo Cabrera at the plate for the Yankees. Bottom of the second. He drives one to the opposite field. That is caught by the left fielder. 1 away. Harrison Bader up for the Yankees. Defensive center field. He drives one to the gap in left center. That goes to the wall, and Bader's going to get in easily with a double. 1 out for the Yankees. A chance to tie up the game. Their catcher, Jose Trevino, up at the plate, the number 8 hitter, and he pops one, and it gets by the shortstop. That's going to move Bader all the way to third, and he goes to home. That is not sure if it's going to be an error. Looks like a single by Trevino. Ties up the game 1-1. Aaron Hicks at the plate, looking to keep the rally going, and Hicks drives one up the middle. Easy double play for the Guardians. They escape, only giving up 1 run. Catcher Austin Hedges at the plate, one of the best bronze catchers last year on bronze tournament teams. He grounds out to short. Miles Straw, the number 9 hitter. Little weak squibber. Pitcher grabs that and fires it to first. 2 out. Back to the top of the order, and left fielder Kwan. Kwan drives one, but a little blooper to first base, easily handled by Rizzo. All right, Yankees up bottom of the third. Back to their top of the order. Torres at the plate. He drives the ball to third, but it is a weak squibber, and that is handled, and Torres is retired. Judge back up for the second time. Do they walk him, or do they pitch to him? Let's find out. Here comes the pitch from Savall, and that is up to short. And again, the shortstop did not have his Wheaties today. He boots that one. They call it an infield hit. My view is that those are two errors by Rosario. That could cost Cleveland. Let's see. We have Judge at first, 1 out. Anthony Rizzo at the plate. Rizzo gets hit. The Guardian, Savall, is a little bit distraught right now. The Yankee crowd is just giving him the gears now with Stanton at the plate. The crowd's going wild. 1 out, 2 on, and Stanton drives that up the middle. That's going to fall in front of the right fielder, scoring another run. 2-1 Yankees. Still only 1 out. Josh Donaldson, former Blue Jay great, former Brave great, former Athletic great. What's he got to offer? He strikes out. Get a little bit old. Cabrera back at the plate, 2 out. Savall delivers, and that is going to the gap, but the center fielder grabs that to retire the side, and they are lucky to get out, only giving up 1 run. Top of the 4th inning now. We have Rosario at bat, the number 2 hitter for the Guardians. Drives one up to third base, handled by Donaldson, 1 out. Ramirez, the number 3 hitter, got to get on base here, and he drives it down the left field line. That goes to the wall. That's going to be an easy double for Ramirez, and the Guardians have something going in the 4th. Josh Naylor, cleanup hitter, DH. He pounds it, but it gets by the second baseman. Errors all over the place. That scores the tying run. And EVC, there you go. The Guardians have tied this game up. Top of 4, only 1 out. Gonzalez at the plate, the number 5 hitter. Naylor at first. That is driven to left field. That falls in front of the left fielder, and that's going to move the runner up to second. They don't try and get any further. Don't want to test that arm of Aaron Hicks. Runner up first and second. Another little bloop just over the shortstop. That is going to load the bases with 1 out. Guardians have a rally going. First baseman Arias at the plate. Not very good contact. Not very good power. Can he be the hero? Here comes the pitch, and that is driven over Josh Donaldson's head into left field. That only scores 1 run. That was hit like a rope. Almost too hard. A little bit softer, and that might have scored 2. Guardians up 3-2. Bases loaded. We have Jimenez on the mound now. No, Jimenez is on second. Hedges at the plate. Here we go. That is hit. Oh, it's not deep enough. Is it enough to score a run? They're going to test the arm, and he slides in safely, and the Guardians take a 4-2 lead. 2 out. Runners on first and second. Cortez still on the mound. Miles Straw, the number 9 hitter at the plate. He drives one to center field, easily handed by Bader, retiring the side. All right, we go to the bottom of the 4th. All you Yankee lovers, got to get someone on base. Harrison Bader to lead things off. He drives one to short. This time it's handled easily by the shortstop. No error, no infield hit. 1 down. Jose Trevino, the catcher, is up. He drives one past the first baseman, and he gets on with a single. Yankees have a runner on with 1 out, and Aaron Hicks, their number 9 hitter, at bat. He is hitting away and drives one to the gap, and that is going to... What a catch! What a catch by the center fielder. That would have been a run-scoring double, maybe a triple, but they retire Aaron Hicks. Great catch by Miles Straw. We'll see if he does that in the game today. Torres, right-handed batter at the plate, and he is walked. So Yankees still have some life. 2 on, 2 out, and Aaron Judge. What do you do in real life here? You let him hit? I think I'd walk him. I think I'd rather pitch to Rizzo. Let's see what they do. Yeah, they pitched him outside. They weren't going to play around with Aaron Judge. Not at all. So let's see if it pays off. 2 out, loaded bases. Rizzo at the plate. Here comes the pitch, and he is walked. Cleveland getting into some on-base difficulty. All right, Savell still on the mound. We have Stanton at the plate. Bases loaded, 2 out. Here comes the pitch. That's driven to right field, and that's going to drop, scoring at least 2 runs. Here comes in the go-ahead run, and the Yankees are up 5-4. Guardians, what are you doing? Josh Donaldson at the plate, runner on second or runner on third. Boy, the outfield was played deep that time. He gets a double. Number 7 run. The 7th run comes in, and the Yankees a commanding dish net type of lead. This one is caught. Straw is having a game out there in center field. All right, we head to the 5th inning. Guardians fly out to center. 1 out. Again, a fly out, this time over the center fielder's head. That's going to go to the wall. At least a double. Heading to third is Rosero. All right. Can they rally around that triple? Ramirez at the plate, the number 3 hitter. No one else I'd rather have up there. He grounds to short. That is going to score the run. And the Guardians claw within 2. Josh Naylor, can he put a home run on the board? Nope. Drives it up, shortstop, plays it well, and the Guardians are retired. Oh, not yet. No, there's only 2 out. Runner on first. He got on base. That was an infield single. Way to go, Josh. And that one is driven to left, and that falls. And we have runners at first and second, 2 out. Jimenez at the plate. A chance to put the Guardians ahead. He drives it to left field. That is going to score 1 run easily, and the lead is now 7-6. We've got a barn burner here in New York on this Tuesday afternoon. Arias, a weak grounder to third. Are they going to get him? Is it going to be enough? Yes, it is. They get him at first, but the Guardians put 2 on the board. Bader at the plate. Weak grounder up to short. First out. Catcher Trevino. Hot shot. Picked up by the first baseman. Second out of the inning. They need a 3-up, 3-down inning. Can they get Aaron Hicks? Little squibbler to short, and 3-up, 3-down as we head to the top of the 6th. Guardians down by 1. Little blooper there to the second baseman. 1 gone. Straw at the plate, having a great defensive game. Not so much on the offense. And Stephen Kwan, the top of the order for the Guardians. Oh, just in front of the plate. The catcher grabs it, fires over to first. 3-up, 3-down for the Yankees. This would be a great game. 7-6 in the bottom of the 6th. Love to see that today. Leadoff base hit for Torres. Aaron Judge at the plate. He drives it, but not deep enough. And Miles Straw reins it in. Anthony Rizzo Fires it again over the first base head. That's going to move runners to first and third with one out, bringing up Stanton. Can he increase the Yankee lead? And that drops in front of the right fielder. That's going to score a run. 8-6 Yankees. 2 on, 1 out. Only the 6th inning. That's gone. That's goodbye. And the first home run of the game pushes the Yankees up 11-6. Josh Donaldson said, "Oh no, don't you forget about me. I am still the Rainmaker, and I am going to win this game for the Yankees." Well, now we head to still the 6th inning, 2nd out for the Yankees. I think it's going to be very tough for the Guardians to come back. They do take care of the rest of the inning, top of 7. Schmidt on the mound for the Yankees, Rosario at the plate. Can they have a big inning of their own? Not with hitting like that. Ramirez. Come on, Ramirez. Strikes out, 2 out, top of 7. Full count. Here comes the pitch. That is caught in foul territory, and it's time for the 7th inning stretch. I am not going to sing. All right, here we go. Bottom of 7. Yankees at the plate. Routine play by the second baseman, 1 out. Aaron Hicks now at the plate for the Yankees. And a strikeout. Morgan on the mound. And that is hit deep but caught by the left fielder. Yankees go down in order. 3 up, 3 down. Top of 8. Oscar, you need a hit. Jimenez, how about you? What do you got? That's deep. That could be out of here. Oh, on the warning track, that is caught. And 2 down, Guardians. And finally, Arias hits it to third. Josh Donaldson grabs it, fires it over. 3 up, 3 down as we go to the bottom of the 8th. Yankee fans are just going nuts. They've had a few, lots of popcorn, few hot dogs, and another solo shot. This time, Aaron Judge. Oh yeah, he said, "Josh, you're not going to show me up. This is my time, my stadium." He delivers the 12th run, and now we're really getting to the dishnet rich type of game. Yankees are not giving up. No one out. Runner on first. Here comes the pitch. That should be a routine double play. Could have used that earlier, Guardians. And that is the end of the 8th inning. Guardians, one last chance. Down by 6. I've seen OOTP do stranger things. I've been involved in games in my league play where I'm down 5 and I score 6 in the 9th. We've all seen it. For us and against us. But they do have the bottom of the order. Hedges at bat. He drives it. Oh, that is hard. Hit to the wall. That's going to be a double for Hedges. Good start. Miles Straw. Great game in center field. Can he keep this going? That is hit deep to right, but it is caught. 1 down. Hedges holds up at second. You don't want to take chances on the base path. But hey, top of the order. This is where you want to be. Stephen Kwan, a 60 contact. Here comes the pitch. A weak grounder to the pitcher. It does move the runner to third. But I think it's going to be too much, too little, too late. Rosario, the number 2 hitter, at the plate. What's he got? Can he keep the game going? And that is it. The New York Yankees, in their confident, they don't run out onto the field. They, like military style, trot out on the field. And they take game 5. And they go on to take on the Houston Astros in the Final Four. All right, that was fun. 11 hits for the Yankees, or 11 hits for the Guardians, so they hit the ball. They just couldn't capitalize. Player of the game, Giancarlo Stanton. A great diamond card. For all you young, new players to the game, get yourself the Diamond Stanton card. He hits the ball. He hits the ball well. You saw an 8-run walk-off? Oh, wow. Yeah, like I said, OOTP can shock you sometimes. A little bit more than probably in real life. Although it happens in real life sometimes. Savall takes a loss. He went 3 2/3 inning, gave up 7 earned runs. Cortez did not pitch the required 5 innings. Schmidt came on for the win, and player of the game again was Stanton, who went 3 for 4, 4 RBIs. Donaldson had 5 RBIs, and the Yankees take care of the Guardians. So sorry, EVC didn't work out for you. But hey, who's to say that it's going to be like that in real life? The game is just about to get underway in New York. We'll see if it ends up being 12-6. All right, we're going to load up the team games here. First of all, I want to show you the results of a recent tournament that I played in. I like to play in the perfect daily drafts. And this one right here, let's load this one up. So this is on the Jim Unknown Blue Jays team. Remember, you get to enter 2 perfect teams at once. And this one was for a Jake Peavy 99. And second was a Dick McAuliffe. Third and fourth got you an Ezra Sutton. And then after that, you get some perfect points. This was in one I was in yesterday or on Sunday, and the Jim Unknown Blue Jays. Yes, finally, the Jim Unknown Blue Jays were able to take this tournament and win a Jake Peavy. I have no idea if he's good. I'm sure he could play in silver because that's where they are right now. So hopefully Jake Peavy will improve the team a little bit. But yeah, I was stoked. I beat the one and only Chad Golden Rumps, TBD, in the finals. That's a quality manager. In the semifinals, I was able to beat the Homestead Grays. Again, probably a quality manager. And along the way, I beat an E6 team, the Razors. So yeah, that I did not face easy competition along the way to get to the finals and then to win in the finals. So yeah, pretty excited. I was able to, I think, only lose 1 game along the way. Let's take a look. 3-0, 3-0, 3-0, 3-0, 3-0, 3-1. I think I lost the second game of the tournament and then just went on a tear. So that's probably the best I've ever done. I've won tournaments before, but not in this manner where I only lost 1 game along the way. Just to kind of show you the team that I drafted. This was my pitching staff. So this was my leadoff pitcher, one of the tournament cards that you can win. And then I had Lamarck and Hooten and Harris, a lot of names you may not have heard of before. Again, because this is a historical tournament, I didn't need 11 or 12 pitchers, so I went with 5. And in terms of the hitters, a little more familiar names. I did have the Gold McCovey, who hit 386. Gold McCovey is still a good McCovey. He was MVP of 2 of the series. Also had Don Money at 3rd, 286. Decent average. Hendrick, a Platinum 3 card, 84. Hit 297. MVP of round 2. So again, not a lot of guys that you would expect to be big time players other than maybe Jim Thome. This was my perfect round pick. I didn't have a lot to choose from, but kind of glad I got Thome. Look at that, 431 average. 431. That's incredible as a full-time player. 7 home runs, 21 RBIs. He ripped it up. My Gold McCovey, though, had 11 home runs. He led the tournament in home runs, above Gehrig and Gonzalez. Kevin Brown, 4 wins. Okay, and that was probably in a relief role, I'm betting. Yeah, that was as a stopper. There must have been some close games. So again, pretty cool that the Jim Unknown Blue Jays were able to take this series. And yeah, they're free. If you're new to the game, go into your start screen. Show you how to do that quick. I know you old timers, you know all this. But you can go into your traditional tournaments. I like to enter on this team. I like to enter the bronze. Maybe I'll go up against Gorgo or other bronze players. Went up against Kidneys yesterday. I don't know who won that. I was up 1-0. And you can go to your perfect drafts and enter 2 of these. Already got one. I've got a draft before it starts in 3.5 hours. But I'm going to enter a second one right there. All right. So there we go, guys, with a kind of a look ahead at today's game, how OOTP would play out. Also, we have the tournament, showed you one result there, but let's get in to some league play. Let's check out how Silver's going. This is the highest that the Blue Jays have been so far. This is the tutorial team that I put together for my YouTube videos. On YouTube, I have a 10 series set of videos for new players just getting into the game, where we talk about how to earn points, how to earn packs, how to set your roster, the types of players you should get early on. So yes, if you're new and want some advice, go to the YouTube channel. Same thing, YouTube/C/LaptopHound, and you'll come across those videos. So the Jim Unknown Blue Jays are in silver and currently right now in 252. We are tied for the division lead. Kind of it's a good record, but not as good as this team is used to. Right up there with Jamaica. Second ad break. We'll see you in a 1.5 minutes and open some packs. Coffee number 2. Hazelnut with a little bit of pumpkin flavoring in it, a little bit of honey. Yeah, big coffee drinker. I, again, was a teacher for over 30 years, and every break into the coffee room, grab a coffee. For those of you that don't know, I was a social studies teacher, history, love history, so every once in a while I might talk a little bit about history. And yeah, coffee was the fuel that kept a lot of teachers going. All right, we have a Cicero 2K. Cicero, you talked about does strategies change? Does the game change? Yes, it does, depending on the era. This is a common post that kind of goes around in the Discord. So not sure who to give credit to. If you know, please post it. But this is how you should approach different eras. So if you're playing in a tournament that's 1933, that would be the Rebirth era. You only need to draft 3 starters and up to 5 relievers. So don't worry about getting 5 gold starters. You probably want to take your starters a little earlier than usual though. Maybe try and grab a perfect or a diamond or a couple diamond starters if you're playing in a Rebirth era, because those guys are going to pitch more often, so they become a little bit more valuable in your tournament. So that, helps me kind of advance further if you kind of know the strategies for each of the eras. Most tournaments are the modern era. So the modern era, you kind of need your 5 starters, your full bullpen. Some people go 11 total pitchers. That's kind of pushing it. 12 is kind of the norm. You can even go maybe 13, depending if you want to sacrifice some bench for your hitters. So yes, feel free to take a screenshot of this or to, come back later in the video and rewatch it, but always be cognizant of the era that you're playing in and draft appropriately. Modern, you want to try and get your starters by the end of silver at the latest. Maybe your 5th guy could be a bronze guy. Higher up you go, you want to kind of get your pitchers a little bit earlier. And if you play in the early years where you only need 1 or 2 starters, try and get that perfect Carl Hubble. He would do wonders if he can pitch every game for you. So yeah, that is something you should consider when you're playing the tournaments. Of course, league play doesn't affect that. We're always playing kind of the modern strategy in league play. When you're in tournaments, you can't change your ballpark factors. They are going to be neutral every tournament. And league play, you can become a righty favored ballpark, a lefty favored ballpark, or somewhere in between. So that is the eras. So yeah, good comment there, Cicero, because a lot of new players might not be aware of that. The Blue Jays. A little too soon for the real Blue Jays. But here we are. We're in the AC, currently with the best record in the league, tied for best. We've played 2 more games than Jamaica. Hey, it's Jamaica. They're a little bit, it's Jamaica. Not the manager, the country. The habits. I have my coffee. In Jamaica, they have their, and in the other side, we have a lot of parity. We've got 5 teams at 20 wins already. And a shout out to Finneytown Juggernauts who are starting to recover. Gorgo, good to see you on the road back. 7-3 in the last 10. Yes, I want to see you in the finals. I don't get to see you in regular play this year. So let's meet up in the finals. And if we do, I will even host a stream with us in the finals on Sunday. How cool would that be? All right, that is what our standings look like. I did make a few roster changes. Let's show you my transaction history. And I don't buy with money, perfect points, all those kind of things, all free to play. So I got a lot of packs from watching streams like this, from missions, sold a lot of my duplicates, and recently, what do we got? Some in-game achievements from League Play. Those 800 and 500 points are really nice. Remember, you get a login reward. Log into your game every day, because then you continue your streak. And the longer your streak is, the better the rewards are. Eventually, you can get packs every few days or perfect points. It does reset back to 1 after so many days, so it doesn't continue on. But if you miss a day, you go back to the beginning. So every day, all it takes is a few seconds. It works on OOTP Go as well, where you can log in and get those free points and packs. So I did buy on the card shop Jonathan Papelbon. I see him used a lot in Perfect, so I think he's a good pitcher for 35,000 Perfect points. I think that's a good buy. I also picked up Joe Tinker, one of the best defensive shortstops. Not the best. He's not an Appling, he's not a Willie Wells, but I would say he's still a top 10 shortstop. Better than Concepcion for sure. So I got him for 40,000 Perfect points. Someone you might want to consider. He was up to 100,000 Perfect points a month ago. Who else did I pick up? I put in a buy order on Cool Papa Bell, and it looks like this morning that was filled. So I got myself a Cool Papa Bell. Instead of finishing the Negro League missions, I got him for 33,000 Perfect points. Probably a quarter of what I would have spent on the missions. So usually it's much cheaper to buy these cards off the card shop than it is to complete the missions. Some like missions, some like just buying the card. Unfortunately, that's how the market works right now. So I did add Martinez as well, Pedro Martinez. There was one up for 140,000. I put in 107, not thinking I'd get it, but I did get it. So I spent about 200,000 Perfect points on 4 cards. Martinez, Papelbon, Tinker, and Cool Papa Bell. 4 cards that could play up to Perfect. Now, there'll be more of a reserved role in Perfect League. Pedro will be in the bullpen. Tinker might be a backup. Papelbon will be in the bullpen. And Cool Papa could be a backup. So for me, that was a good use of 200,000 Perfect points. Don't just spend them on anyone. Spend them on players that you're going to need as you move up the rankings. So I would rather spend 40,000 on a card that will take me to Perfect than 20,000 on a card that will only take me to gold. So just keep saving, be patient. Keep saving your Perfect points. Wait for the opportunity, because you can get a lot of these cards for really good value. So again, looking at my team in silver, I have a lot of Perfect, I have a lot of Diamond, but I still am using George Kell, hitting 364. I like this card. It's a really good silver card for league play. So he is hitting 364 for me. You can see kind of on a hitting streak. He's hit well in the last 5 games. Won some awards. Fielding doesn't hurt me. Doesn't really help me, but doesn't hurt me at third base. So that is my only silver card right now. I got a couple gold. Paxton I have in the bullpen as a tournament award card. And doing okay. Pretty good ERA. I've had him as a starter earlier when I was in Stone, but now I'm using him in the bullpen. And I'm kind of curious, what is he going on the card shop for? 14,000. Would I spend that on him? No. I probably wouldn't. I'd save it for someone better. But he was someone I won in a tournament, so why not throw him in? The other one which I was taking a shot on was Bryson Stott as my kind of platoon second baseman. Look at that. He's hitting 444. He only has 18 at-bats, but he's got 8 hits, home run, a double, couple RBIs, and a positive WAR. So I doubt many teams use this card, but I was kind of lacking a good quality reserve infielder, and he can play first, second, third, short fairly well at all positions. So right now I have him slotted in. I have Stott slotted as backup first baseman, backup second baseman against the lefties and righties. So again, he's working out pretty good for me so far. All right. Let us go. And we got to make sure we get Cool Papa in the game. Because knowing me, I would forget, and then tomorrow I'd be like, where's Cool Papa? Now here's the problem. I don't take out, he plays better against the righties, so I don't mind that he's not in against the lefties. Kind of an expensive card just to play half the games. But that's something you have to do as you work your way up. You got to start platooning guys and only playing them against the pitchers that they're better with, lefties or righties. And here, Cool Papa, Tinker, Stott. Hines. And there we go. That is the hitting rotation. The bullpen and the starters, I am still using Kidney's Snail Man strategy. A lot of teams are using it. I'm still using it until it fails me and relegates me. I'm going to continue using this. It's a 60 pitch count for your starters. Because again, for those of you that don't know, word is that if you leave your starters in to face the lineup for the third time through, there might be an OOTP penalty. So if you yank them before the third time through the rotation, so for example, I have Kevin Brown, maximum's 18 batters faced. So he's going to get through the lineup twice, 60 pitches, because I have a 4-man rotation. If I go 90, he'll be too tired his next start. So he's likely only going to pitch 4 innings plus. You might get lucky and get to the win area, but typically they pitch between 4 and 5 innings. Look at the ERAs, not too bad. Pedro has started his career off well, 4-0 with a 1.46 ERA. Not too bad. And Pedro, yeah, notice again, he doesn't typically pitch to the 5th inning. I do have Pedro and Mark Pryor as followers. So just to kind of throw off the other team a little bit, I'll have an opener come in, start the game, and then Pedro or Mark will come in later on. Especially for teams that use 2 completely different lineups. If they think they're going to face a righty and you give them a lefty and they don't have their daily lineup set, then it's an advantage for me. So yeah, you might want to consider using openers once in a while. The disadvantage of the Kidney Snail Man strategy is it really takes a toll on your bullpen. You're probably going to have a little higher ERAs. Enron, yes, but none of these guys, you guys get you a single PP. Yeah, you don't make any money off the league play anyway. Welcome, Kidneys. Yeah, thanks for popping in. Just kind of going through your strategy that a lot of us are using now. So thanks so much for putting this out in public. If you're not aware, Kidneys made the Perfect Team World Series. couple seasons ago using this strategy, and had some help from Snail Man as well. And yesterday, Kidneys had a stream. You might want to check out his channel. Go follow that. He put out a stream about the Topps Bunt cards and your odds and, you know, what it would take to collect those cards. Really good stream that Snail and him put out yesterday. So yes, this is working pretty good with the Jim Unknown Blue Jays. They're 22-14 right now. Bullpen, like I said, kind of suffering. Zach Britton's doing okay. Got a couple openers, followers. It's not exactly probably how Kidneys had his team set up. I did kind of tinker with it a little bit. Unless you get extremely lucky, your Noodles Hahn and Sid Fernandez through perfect games in stone. Okay, in stone. Okay. Still, that must have got you some perfect points. Cool. So there's my lineup. I know, like I said, I got Hines first night. And then a few days later, I heard Kidney say that he likes Paul Hines. We're two guys that really like this card. A lot of people don't. But he's a sneakily good card. Right now, this one is only in silver. But you can see he was MVP of the World Series last year. I lost out in the World Series. Last year, he was MVP in 2039. That's when I won Stone. So, really good card. I'd recommend you pick him up. I don't know what he's selling for now. Look at that. Right, Kidney? How 26,000 for a perfect card, which you can always quick sell, not that you'd want to, for 20,000? Bargain. Really good bargain. So, Paul Hines, Cool Papa Bell, Jonathan Papelbon, Tug McGraw, Larry Walker, Joe Tinker, Willie McCovey. These are all fairly cheap players that you can get much easier than completing missions. You could build a team, insane team for 500,000. I agree. I bet you could build a team that would get you well into Diamond. Because when we get to my Gladiator team, which is in Diamond, as a free-to-play player, I have never spent over... The most I spent for a card was Brooks Robinson last week. I spent 240,000, and I thought that was a good deal because you can't pull him in packs. He is extremely limited. That's the most I've spent for a card, 240. And I'm in Diamond, and I'm doing okay. All right, let's go and, well, let's see if we won our last game against the Red Sox. 8-0. Not quite a dish net victory. Sorry, Rich. But 8-0 shellacking. Market's coming down? Yeah, market is coming down. There's great value. Unless you're, want the Topps Bunt cards or, the Babe Ruth and those kind of cards, your elite pitchers, you're still going to pay a lot. But yeah, market's coming down. In fact, I usually do this at some point in the episode. Let's do it now. Let's look at all the cards over 400,000. Ernie Banks, 6 million on sale now. Someone had this up for 10 million last week. Not worth it. Unless you're a card collector and you just collect for the cards, but even then, 6 million perfect points, even with the sale going on. Do the math. I'm not a math guy, but it's hundreds and hundreds of dollars to buy the perfect points to get that Ernie Bakes. Crazy. This one here is just someone has a lark, or they made a mistake and put too many zeros in. So I'm not even going to mention that one. Yogi Berra, good catcher. I'd like to have a Yogi Berra on my team. Plays both sides pretty well. So he might replace, right now in Diamond, I've got Mauer and King Kelly. He'd replace one of them. Probably Kelly, and maybe Kelly I'd put in right field. I don't know. Andrew Jones, but this is a tournament Andrew Jones. 750,000 perfect points. 750. But again, some of these, there are only 4 of them. Like this Barry Larkin, I believe only 4 exist. Maybe more, maybe 8. Albert Pujols, I think there are still about 10 of these in packs. Very tough to pull. But the price is coming down. Here's a case where Kidney says the market is dropping a little bit. Pujols, well, the average is 462, so maybe not dropping that much. Quite a big gap between sell and buy order. One of my guys that I'd love to have, I want a Jerry Royce, but I don't want to pay $400,000. I'd maybe pay $250, like I did with Brooks Robinson. One guy's willing to pay $350, so there's still some demand for Jerry Royce. The Babe. Do the math. A lot of perfect points. I would almost be tempted to sell him to that high bidder. And I haven't heard Kidney's opinion about Babe, but my opinion is that he'll probably play till the end of the cycle, but not as well as maybe people might expect him to. I see him maybe leveling out as a 250 hitter, 40 home runs. What do you think, Kidneys? Would you sell him for 1.7, or would you keep him, get the value out of him now, and sell him later? The only thing with Babe is it's going to be a limited card, because once Platinum 4 comes out, you won't be able to get him, which is kind of disappointing. You know, there's a few of them, John Matlock, Babe Ruth. Once they're gone, they're gone from packs. So that would be tough if I pulled the Babe. Alan Trammell. Doesn't look like any have been sold, which makes sense because I think there's only 4 of them. This is a Perfect Team Championship Series card. Someone's willing to pay 1.75. One of the sellers willing to part with them for 5.5. And Dazzy Vance, the last high-priced card, $560,000. That is $60,000 under the last 10 price. So consider that a bargain. Again, too much for me. I think I'd rather have a Carl Hubble and a Jerry Royce and a John Matlock. I think those would be 3 of the pitchers I would go after. Babe breaks a lot of things. Yeah, he does. Very elite card right now. Cap his home runs at around 40. Yeah, it's kind of where I see it eventually, at around 40. So, little analysis of the card shop there. Gonna open some packs on the Blue Jays, and then we'll go over to the Gladiators right after break number 3. See you in a bit. There we go. Yes, that was the Charlie Chaplin version of OOTP. That's where you have to use your imagination. What exactly is Laptop Hound talking about? Well, I was talking about the Gladiators in Diamond. How we have done okay. We made the playoffs for 2 seasons in a row. Last year, we lost to the Corgis in the wild card, who went on to win it all. And 2 years ago, we lost in the finals. As a 500 team, we lost to the Angry Unicorns, who went on to perfect. So yeah, we've done well in getting to the playoffs lately. We're in a league with a lot of parity right now. And you know that OOTP engine, right now I'm only 3.5 games out of a wild card. Just need to go on a little bit of a tear. I'm not even sure which managers are in this league. See if any of these are familiar. Tuscaloosa, Oceano Otters. I don't recognize a lot of these. I mean, they could be second or third teams from some of the managers that are imperfect. Yeah, I'm not familiar with a lot of them. So we'll see how we do. Quick look at my lineup. Using kind of a modified kidneys approach this time. I tried to get a little bit more out of my starters. But because we're under 500, I'm going to go back and put them back at 60. And I do have 5 running right now. Let's go back to 4. And go like that. Don't have any openers or followers on this team. I might change that around. But right now I'm running Vida Blue, Kevin Brown, Kid Nichols, and Mort Cooper. Not the elite pitchers, but good enough for Diamond. Keep an eye on fatigue. Potentially less rest days than your guys can hang on. Yeah, like look at that fatigue right now. My next starter, Kevin Brown's okay. Kid Nichols is okay. In the bullpen, I've got a couple guys that could go. So yeah, I might have to, micromanage a little bit and get some guys in and out to deal with that fatigue. Good point. Hitter-wise, this is the team I've built as a free-to-play player. Again, maybe not the best organization of the lineup. Brooks Robinson, I added for $250K recently. Used to belong to SF, whoever that is. So he's only been in Rocky Mountain for a couple years, hitting .297 in Diamond now. I'll take that out of Brooks. I've seen a lot of broken Brooks in terms of hitting. Willie McCovey's been on the team a long time. I got him early. Got 1 division MVP. So these are typical guys you see, right? These are typical guys you see in gold and diamond. Maybe not as many in perfect. Jackie Robinson I pulled on stream 2 weeks ago. My best pull of the year was Jackie Robinson. Phil Koch. Hey, yeah, I talked about Phil Koch yesterday on your stream, EVC, and I said I use him as a stopper in iron tournaments. Really good card. One of my top 5 Platinum 3 cards under level 70. My top 5, Koch, Moncada, Alomar Jr., Bryant as a pitcher, and Rob Deere. Top 5 Platinum 3 cards under 70. Really good in quick tournaments. Oh, you have them in your rotation? Oh, okay. Yeah, I have them as a stopper. I like my rotation in my iron. So again, here are the players. Pop Lloyd. I know a lot of Discord chat around Pop Lloyd lately. Great card. Hitting 368 for me. 68 at bats, hitting 368. Can't go wrong with that. I probably should train him as a second baseman. If I ever drop down to gold, I think I'll put him at second. Where do I have him here? I have him against lefties. No, I don't. Yes, I do. At short. I got Jackie. Right, got Jackie, and over here I got Joe Morgan. I guess I could put Pop Lloyd at second here. Yeah, I'll play around with it a little bit. Got to get above 500 though. So that is the Rocky Mountain Gladiators. That's a little bit of our history. That's kind of where we're at right now. Keep plugging away. That's all we can do. Last game against Lost Coast. 9-7 loss. Yeah, that's where that kidneys and snailman strategy really impacts your bullpen. I mean, hey, I gave up 9 runs. It's going to affect my bullpen. All right, guys, we are at pack ripping time. It's not Pack Palooza. That's Gorgo's motto. This is the Gladiator, hopefully, victory. Let's see what we can get. What a great way to start. A 62 live. 62 live. All right, guys, come on, send those Gladiator vibes. We have 12 in a row live players right now. I'm calling my first timeout early. Timeout. When you pull 12 lives in a row, you call that early timeout. Let's just look at the cards. I did some live spec. Haven't sold them yet. So on Thursday, I'm going to sell off all my live duplicates. And if you don't know, some cards were pulled out of the game. Like John Schreiber, I was positive he'd go up to at least an 80. So I had 10 of them, plus some in packs. But he's out of packs now. OOTP released a list of players they've withdrawn from the game. If you own them, you can still use them. You just can't get them in packs anymore. And you can still buy them on the card shop. If you want a John Schreiber, who you'll never get in a pack again, 170. That's pretty good as a little collectible. There were a few names I was familiar with. Johnny Cueto, Schreiber, and Shelby Miller. But most of them were probably low-level iron cards. All right. Timeout is over. Let's get back to pack ripping. My goals today: 1 Topps card, 1 Diamond Platinum 3, or any perfect. I'll take any of those 3 situations. Topps, Platinum 3 Diamond, well, I didn't think it would happen so soon. Got a diamond and a perfect card. This is a, ooh. And 3 historicals. That's quite the pack. Yeah, Cicero, that didn't take long at all. All right. I'm never right when I call cards. I'm calling a live and a historical. In a perfect world, it would be Platinum 3, Bunt. All right, here we go. Diamond card is a live. I called the live. Evan Phillips. All right. And the historical. What do we got? We have Kidneys. How'd I do? EVC. Gorgo. How much do I have to pay you to come to all my streams, Gorgo? Like you know, can I float you a few perfect points along the way? Maybe I'll throw a game in league play if we ever face each other. Yes, the Gorgo pack luck. He doesn't have to pull the packs. He just has to be in the stream. Oscar. All right, to finish off, guys, one of the new theories new things I'm going to incorporate into my team. I did it on Sunday night, and I always want to end off with this, is a historical exhibition. I'm an old guy. I remember a lot of the old teams. So I'm going to run a one game play down. Just one game. We're not going to do any injuries because I don't want OOTP to affect that. And in terms of who gets to play, we are going to bring in the spinning wheel. We are going to find out which specific teams. The 1992 team will be team number 21. What's that about? The Pirates? 1, 2, 3. New York Mets. The Rich Grisham New York Mets. 72-90 overall record. And team number 2 from 1981. We are going up against Team 27. (20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26). Back to the top. The 59 and 46 Baltimore Orioles. Must have been a strike season or a lockout season. Because, yeah, they didn't play a full schedule there. And finally, right now, the Orioles are the home team. Do we flip them? Do we flip teams? And where it stops is on yes. Oh, their first half record maybe? Okay. Interesting. So we flipped the team, so we're going with the Orioles as the away team and the New York Mets as the home team. 1992 versus 1981. Some of you will remember these teams. One game. We are going, though, with the modern era settings. Try and make it fair for both of them. One game, no injuries. Let's create the team. Who you guys got? Oh, 81 was a strike year? Okay. That's why I thought it might have been a strike or lockout year. Is it going to be the Mets? Is it going to be the Orioles? Let's take a look at our lineups. Eddie Murray, Singleton, Bunbury, Dwyer, Rick Dempsey, Bellinger. When are we going to get that 100 Bellinger? Pitcher-wise, Tippy Martinez, Scott McGregor, Dennis Martinez, Palmer, Flanagan. Yeah, I remember these guys. And the Mets, we've got Vince Coleman. There we go. You can see it better now. Jeff Kent, Bobby Bonilla, Willie Randolph, Eddie Murray, Dwight Gooden, Sid Fernandez. Hey, a lot of these perfect cards that we use right now. Well, I just think the Mets are going to win this. Scott McGregor up against Sid Fernandez. There we go. Jeff Kent in the cleanup role. Doug DeCinces in the cleanup role for the Orioles. Computer versus computer. Think we are ready to go. All right, that's what I love about OOTP. You can take any team, any era, face them off against each other, and see how they do. So we'll just start the first inning going pitch by pitch as the Mets start off with a strikeout. Sid Fernandez strikes out the first two batters. He is on fire. Can he strike out Eddie Murray? Murray drives it to third, weak grounder, side is retired. When I did this on Sunday, my late Sunday stream, it was the 1901 Boston Americans up against the 1988 Philadelphia Phillies. 1901 versus 1988. And the Americans won 9-0. Cy Young was the pitcher. He went the full 9 innings to record the massacre. All right, Scott McGregor on the mound for Baltimore. He gets his first strikeout. A fly out to center field should be a routine play, although awkward. Since he had the best NL team and record and didn't make the playoffs, sure Gorgo remembers that. We get a walk to Bobby Bonilla. Jeff Kent at the plate. He drives it to shortstop. That's going to be an easy out. And inning 1 is in the books. We're going to go until runners in scoring position. Top of the second. Runner on second. Nobody out. And strikeout. Rick Dempsey now at the plate. Can he drive in the first run? No. A weak grounder to short. And Rich Dower drives it to center. That's going to fall in. Center fielder. Kind of misplayed that a little bit. And a double gives Baltimore a 1-0 lead. Marc Belanger, defensive extraordinaire, flies out to center. And we go to the bottom of the second. Top of the third now. No one on. Runners in scoring position. Runner on second. Or runner on, second. And now we have runners at the corners. So the Orioles are threatening again. One out. Here's the pitch, driven to deep center, but not deep enough. And are they going to get the runner at the plate? What a throw to gun him out and end the inning. Whoa. You don't see that throw at home too often. So Baltimore squanders a chance at a second run. Dick Schofield drives the ball up the middle, base hit. And the Mets, Sid Fernandez bunts, and not good enough. They get the lead out runner. Sid Fernandez at first, 1 out. That is gone. A 2-run jack by Chico Walker. Who had Chico Walker on their bingo card? And the Mets with a 2-1 lead. I can't remember Chico Walker. Must have had a decent bat. And 2 outs now, full count. This one to short. That is going to retire the side. And after 3, it is 2-1 Mets. Go to the bottom of the 4th. Nothing happening. Runner on third. Nobody out. Eddie Murray at the plate. And that is driven to left field. That is going to be a RBI single for Eddie Murray. And we have the Orioles not making anything happen. 3-1 Head to the bottom of the fourth. Runners in scoring position. Nothing for the Mets in the fourth. We go to the fifth. Baltimore. Belanger on second. 2 out. Here's the pitch. That is a weak hit to second base, and the side is retired. Game's not over yet. Bottom of the fifth. Runner on second. 2 out. Daryl Boston. There's a name from the past. Boston strikes out. We go to the sixth. Runners in scoring position. Nothing for Baltimore. How about for New York? Yes. Runner on second. 1 out. Eddie Murray again at the plate. Dennis Martinez on the mound for the Orioles. And that is an easy catch for the right fielder. Still, we got runners on second, and now we have runners on first and third. The Mets. Rich, your Mets are threatening. Charlie O'Brien, though, the number 7 hitter at the plate. He's going to weakly fly out to right field, and the Mets cannot capitalize. We go to the 7th. Baltimore. 2 out. Al Bumbry at the plate. It's a 3-3 game. What happened there? 3-3. Rich Dower singled, and John Lowenstein, a 2-run shot for Baltimore. The 81 Orioles tie the game up. And now there's 2 out for Al Bumbry. He hits a weak... that is flubbed by the Mets first baseman. The Mets never flub. Do they? Do they ever make errors in key games? Gary Roenick at the plate. Bumbry on second. That should be routine. And that retires the side. But the Orioles score 2. And the 1981 Orioles are tied with the 92 Mets. All right, while the Mets are threatening, we got 2 outs, runners on first and second, tie ball game. The hits are relatively even. Bobby Bonilla at the plate. That is driven to deep right. Goodbye, good night. 3-run shot, and the New York Mets blow the game open. 3 runs, Bobby Bonilla, as we head to the top of the 8th. Runners in scoring position. Nothing. Mets. Runners in scoring position. They do. 1 out. Runners on first and second. Mike Flanagan in the game for the Orioles. Bill Picada is now hitting. 8th shortstop. He walks. The Mets are looking to dish net this game. They are looking to blow it open. Ball gets by the catcher. That's going to score a run, and that makes it 7-3. That happened in last night's game between Dish and Rich. Very similar stage of the game. Howard Johnson at the plate. Runner on second and third. He strikes out, and we head to... Oh no, we're still in the 8th. That's driven to deep, deep center. Oh my, the Mets fans are drinking and celebrating. The fireworks are going off in New York. It is another 3-run shot. Chico Walker again. OOTP, we need a Chico Walker card. Make it happen. This really is looking like last night's game, but that will retire the Mets, and the 81 Orioles have 1 more shot. Rick Dempsey at the plate. 1 down. Rich Dower at the plate. Weak ground ball to shortstop. he is retired. And the Orioles, the 81 Orioles, down to their final out. Len Sakata, the number 8 hitter. They're not going with a pinch hitter. Interesting. Jeff Schneider. Here's the pitch, and that is going to be caught by the right fielder. And congratulations, in our second spin the wheel tourney, the New York Mets win over the 81 Orioles. So now we have 2 winners, the 1901 Boston Americans and the 1992. We'll see who joins the Winners Club on Thursday. Chico Walker, obviously the player of the game. Anthony Young takes the win. He blows a save, but takes a win. And we have Chico Walker with 5 RBIs, 3 hits, 2 home runs. What a game by Chico Walker. 33-year-old Chico Walker wins it for the 92 Mets. He had 17 home runs and 1,300 at-bats. Wow. And he hit 2 in this game here. Lowenstein, he did his best. He tried to get Baltimore back in the game. So yeah, there we go. Cool little addition to my series here. And just before we end off, again, if you have a chance on Saturday or Sunday night, pop in, say hi, as I have my late night with Laptop Hound. We talk baseball, OOTP, real life, and try and get you those packs if you missed them during the day Sunday. Well, guys, my voice, my excitement of pulling another historical perfect. I need another coffee. Have the best day today. Have a wonderful time. Hopefully see you Thursday, 11 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. And we'll catch you then. Thanks for tuning in.